He's a wide receiver. About half what happens?
Well, the next day, make sure that someone's.
If you need to just. Yeah, there's, yeah, by the time it's, yeah, if you're there. I know they're Jeremy.
It's just give me six.
And you can be six.
Hey, it's hard to say. No.
How are you?
And Democrats are supporting that.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
What time does 7 o'clock meeting start?
Whenever you want tomorrow.
Are we getting out of here?
So I told you, man, that you only keep 30 minutes.
I know, it's slow.
It's not.
Now, it's slow. Do you have?
No.
Hey, check these out, it's around.
No, I didn't. I was trying to like.
Oh.
Can we talk about those two?
I know.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I thought she was.
My jacket and now you. Any of that? That's bad.
I didn't recognize her. I was trying to point out something. She's at a conference. Oh.
The new Sharon.
Look, you know, I am not, definitely not.
Conversation.
No, you don't.
I think it's fire. Kind of meetings for me. How are you?
Oh, I heard about it.
Yeah, we got a top. Seeing some things, don't want to give you a conversation.
That's all they exchange. Joe, we're not glad. I don't need her.
Say next time you're gonna meet us.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, thank you for that.
Where's your jacket today?
I don't know, Jack. I was really just out. It's good to see you. Okay, she's happy where you are.
We got a camera. They did.
It might be a little cold. How you doing? No, I'm good.
Oh, and then on the camera. With your team.
Sir.
Yes.
So that's when I was.
We're tearing up the park.
And I used to work for them. Every time I. No, so wait. What are people just chopping on the bus line now? I know it's. That's not good.
No,
You know, I agree. This is your learning experience.
Oh my God, we're already late now. And we don't have.
Yes.
We went back in January. Status update.
We need,
Enough said.
Two more members. We're good jurisdictionally though, correct?
oh, yeah.
So I'll.
So you tell who doesn't have a primary or doesn't have a general election. Clean.
Oh, my God.
A mile walk. It's not a problem. I love walking. Confidence and tired. There's this air. Like people think that the peak heat is an.
Oh, you know.
The only thing I will say.
But it's not.
Start to
You can't say it on the beach. I don't go. It's gotta be like late.
I hear that, but.
Give me that look, but I should have.
Everybody stop. Yeah, we're switching over here this week.
We try to take it any further.
Keeping it, keeping you on your toes.
One more.
How you like?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting on one more for a quorum, and then we'll be able to allow me to hit the gavel. So for the record, I am not late. I was on time and on target. You didn't, you keep talking. I just wanted you to know that we were waiting. So, okay, securities. We have a two online. Okay.
That happens.
Christine,
That should be.
we have our online both with Miss Sebesky and.
Yes, both of our, Ms. Fesky and Delegate Guzman are both online, but we need a physical quorum before we can have remote participants.
And Sharon Pandak is remote as well. It's all me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she thinks she'll be able to.
Body.
We hope.
Yes, I am remote.
You got some backlight here, man.
Well, there it is. She still got.
Yes.
That was perfect. Okay, so we're just waiting on one more for everyone online, waiting for one more to have a forum, and then we'll begin. Good to see you, man.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do we have two little bottles instead of one big one?
Typically stop them for the short meetings because these can go long. If you consume both of them. If you consume both of them, then you enjoy both. Drank half of it instead of.
Oh, it takes your way.
Plastic.
Oh, actually,
We can also provide you, if you have one, we provide Camelback left.
We've never had a big one.
I think I still have one.
Oh, really?
I got a really nice, it wasn't like amazing, but I like the one I read. And phase one, I don't care. They stayed. I was knocking doors for the summer.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't say it. Let me.
Return the favor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a quorum.
It is what it is.
I have to see it.
That's hard.
You're like the supervisor of the hour. Okay.
I hope to get.
I'm gonna give you a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. So we are going to begin our meeting at 7:06 p.m. And so we have Commissioner Sebesky and Commissioner Guzman have been added remotely, so we've got to vote them in, if you will.
So moved. Second.
Okay, very, so, Commissioner Sabisky, I have to ask your reason for your remote participation.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize for not being there in person. I am in Virginia Beach. We have Virginia Municipal League starting on Saturday, and I've come into town early to help somebody. So I apologize for not being there, but I am here for a good reason. Hopefully, you will not have no problem with me participating remotely.
No, ma'am, we will not. And thank you for that. And Commissioner Guzman, if you could state your reason.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Greetings from Missouri. I'm here for a convention.
All right,
So
thank you very much.
I cannot be in person.
Yes, and thank you very much for that. And thank you for joining us. I know conventions can be quite a task.
What's the location of the convention, Delegate Guzman?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis,
Thank you.
oh, she's in the great state, okay. Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Kelly, and who was the second? Okay, Commissioner Bodie, any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Victor Angry.
Aye.
Kenny Bodie.
Aye.
Margaret Franklin.
Aye.
Tanisha Allen.
Aye.
Monica Gary.
Aye.
Pamela Sabesky.
Aye.
Jeanette Richel.
Yes.
Matthew Kelly.
Aye.
Todd Horsley.
Yes.
Elizabeth Guzman.
Yes.
George Barker.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, that motion's approved.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And if I can have Mr. Byron Lloyd give us a safety and security.
Yes, thank you, and good evening, everyone. So October is a cyber awareness month, and I just want to give you guys a few tips on how to prepare and how to protect yourself from any cyber threats. So one is create strong passwords, and what I mean by that is not using passwords as your password. Making it strong with special characters such as $signs, things of that nature, so it makes it more difficult to crack your password. Also, when you get emails, beware of phishing attempts or any stealing identities and things of that nature. So be really careful at who sent it to you and what they're asking you. So if you're used to, for instance, me sending you things on safety and security, but I send you something and it says Byron Lloyd, but it says for you to let me have your password or something, or something that's weird, right? Make sure you don't click that link, and make sure you contact your IT department and find, make sure it's safe and things like that. Another thing to look at with emails is sometimes it'll look exactly like my email address. So mine is B Lloyd with 2 L's, right? But what if there's a third L you didn't see, right? Because they do try to clone and all that, and they will attempt that and get you for that too, and you'll click on it thinking it's a good one. So just be careful, be mindful of that. Also, regular updates to your software and hardware. And I know sometimes and I've been guilty of it where I'll just avoid it and do it till next time, snooze it, but just make sure you do that for the latest security patches to protect yourself. Also, using public Wi-Fi. If you have any sensitive information, you should go through a virtual private network, your VPN. Also, be wary of going through public, to look at things that you wouldn't want out there or something that is sensitive. So be mindful of that. And the last thing is educate your staff and yourselves on the latest threats and so forth. As we did last month, Christine will send you all a message with some helpful tips. And I just ask if you can send that to your citizen groups and staff. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always contact me. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Byron. And listen, I just want to take, and I normally don't do this, but I was dinged for opening up an email that was actually a test from the county to see if I was following everything you just said. And so I'm supporting this because, and you all should too, this is more than just a public service announcement that we continually do. Like, this is real stuff. And so for some reason, this whole cyber attack is a really big deal. And you really should stop and look at what these emails are that you're opening. I didn't know about that you could hover your mouse over the attachment. It'll let you know something about the email addresses that you should probably stop and take a look at and see, is that something real? Or the email address from the person whose name looks good, But when you look at the email address, it says gmail.com or something different that you really should pay attention to that because this has turned into big business and a really big deal. And we don't need that in the business that we do here. So thank you, Byron, for that announcement because it's really significant and serious. So if what you didn't say resonated, I hope that something I said helps all of us to take a pause and look at what we're doing before we go. And I know it's because we're all busy and we have a lot going on. So thank you for that. Okay, so we've already got everybody in. You've done that. Okay, let's arise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. If we could call for the roll, please.
Victor Angry,
Here.
Andrew Bailey, Kenny Bodie,
Here.
Margaret Franklin, Janine Lawson, Bob Weir, Karen Mills, Kim Short, Yesley Vega, Ann Wheeler, Tanisha Allen, Monica Gary, Meg Bonke, Pamela Young, Pamela Sebeski,
Here.
Ralph Smith, Jeanette Rischel, Alana Mensing, Daryl Moore, Matthew Kelly,
Here.
Jason Graham, Deborah Frazier, Lori Hayes, Tim McLaughlin, David Ross, Jennifer DeBrule, Todd Horsley,
Here.
Grant Sparks, Elizabeth Guzman,
Here.
and George Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion. So I don't know where the second came from.
Oh,
Well, no, you got the second. There it is. There we go. We got a motion to properly second it.
I believe that was Franklin Rischel.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think that.
no, I.
Oh, no. you meant-
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Sorry,
Yes. Yes.
it was,
No, she motioned. You get the second. Okay.
so who was the?
know.
Alan and Rischel.
Calendar was- yes,
Got
ma'am.
it. Thank you. I appreciate your patience. All right, Victor Angry,
Aye.
Kenny Bodie,
Here.
Margaret Franklin,
Aye.
Janine Lawson, Tanisha Allen,
Aye.
Monica Gary,
Aye.
Pamela Sebeski,
Aye.
Jeanette Rischel,
Yes.
Matthew Kelly,
Yes.
Todd Horsley,
Yes.
Elizabeth Guzman,
Yes.
George Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, motion is approved.
All right. If I can get a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Gary, second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? Any changes? None? Okay. Call for
Victor
it.
Angry,
Aye.
Kenny Bodie,
Aye.
Margaret Franklin,
Aye.
Janine Lawson,
Aye.
Tanisha Allen,
Aye.
Monica Gary,
Aye.
Pamela Sebeski,
Aye.
Jeanette Rischel,
Yes.
Matthew Kelly,
Aye.
Todd Horsley,
Yes.
Elizabeth Guzman,
Yes.
George Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, motion is approved.
Thank you, ma'am. And now we'll have our VRE. Right.
All right. I'll just dive right into it. Thank you.
On in, dropping in.
Thank you, Chairman.
Keep it
Good
moving.
good evening, Commissioners. Rich apologizes that he cannot be here this evening. He had to deal with a personal issue at home. Everybody is fine, so no worries. You do have a copy of the CEO report there in your packet. I'll just hit a couple highlights real quick. We had a couple of good over 8,000 rider days over the past couple of weeks during the midweek. So we're hopeful that that will continue and grow from there. On-time performance has been a little bit better, still not quite up to the 90% level that we want. Continuing to work with Amtrak to try to deal with the issues that we're running into there. I will encourage everyone to take advantage of Clifton Day on Sunday the 8th. VRE will again be providing transportation so that you don't have to drive and park. You can enjoy the ride on VRE, have a great time out there. If you want to go to their website and look for the exact timing on the trains, you can do that. And then just one of the last thing to report, we successfully did the VRE master survey yesterday, which we do each year, that goes in, tells us where all the riders live. And that then feeds into the budget and helps to determine the allocation of the jurisdictional contribution. So we're working on compiling all the data that we got from that, and we'll be coming back to the operations board and to the commissions with the results of that a little later in the budget process. So I'll pause there. I can either answer questions, or if you have questions that we can take back, do that as well.
I will make a comment on the fact of VRE offering up, instead of riding out to the event, taking the train, if you will. That's one of the most pleasant experiences, is just, ride through the countryside, if you will. So if folks haven't done that, we really should take advantage of that, because I think that's an opportunity that you will want to experience more. And VRE is a great system. And so I'm just doing my public service and promoting it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have any comments or questions for that portion? Okay.
Okay, so we do have one action item here on the agenda today, and that is authorizing the referral of the VRE preliminary 2025 operating and capital budgets to the member jurisdictions. So we presented the preliminary budget to the operations board last month in September. They referred it to the commissions. Now it's up to you to refer it to the jurisdictions. They will review it. They will provide any comments that they have back to VRE, which we will discuss and incorporate. And then we'll be back to the operations board for action again in December. They will recommend, hopefully, the budget back to the commissions for action in January.
Yes, sir.
We do have some quick slides. I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time, but if we could just move those ahead real quick. The biggest highlight of the proposed budget for 2025 is service on the weekends on Saturday. As you know, our original sort of agreements with BPRA and the concepts looked at expanding both weekday and weekends. Because of the pandemic, because of the projects we have, we've sort of moved some things around, prioritized certain changes versus other ones. Right now, the thing that we want to focus on is really trying to grow weekends. All of the changes that we're looking at are subject still to a number of negotiations and approval and other key stakeholders, including Keolis. And what we're really doing right now is working on two tracks. We on the finance side are trying to figure out how much we think this is going to cost, make sure it's there in the budget for 25, while Rich and the operations team are doing the negotiations and sort of saying, how are we actually going to make this work on the ground? Real quick, our concept is really sort of to make lemonade out of lemons. We don't have, our trains are not completely full right at the moment. We can take a few of those longer trains, take some cars off of there. That means that we have one less conductor that we need. We're able to move those conductor resources over to the weekends, have them run the weekend trains. We think that's a good way to start this service without the cost of starting up an entirely new train. It'll be an increase in train miles of about 8%. A lot of the items in the budget will scale up by about that 8%, like the diesel fuel, things like that. We still have to negotiate it, of course, over the staffing levels. So as the budget process goes, we'll be able to narrow on what that cost is. Next slide, please. The other big item in the budget is we are proposing changes to our fares for the first time in 5 years. We've had a lot of success with that lower promotional zone 1 to 3 fare. We're proposing to make that permanent. We want to increase our base fares overall by 5%. That's compared to inflation over that same period of almost 20%. So we're not trying to get it all back. We're just trying to get a little more balance. We're looking to eliminate our weekly pass, which over the years has become less and less used by passengers. It's almost nobody uses it now. It's all either the monthly or the 10 trip. And then another one that I think has gotten a lot of good notice. We currently allow kids 10 and under to ride for free. We're going to propose to allow kids 18 and under to ride for free. We really hope that will encourage families to ride the new weekend trains. In accordance with our public participation policy, we have to go out to the public, have hearings, get their comments on the fare changes. We've already done the notification. We have in-person meetings scheduled for Manassas, Fredericksburg, and downtown at LaFont. We also are going to do an online meeting and then have that recorded and be available for people to watch at their leisure. They'll be submitting comments up through, I believe, the middle of November. We'll be compiling those and bringing all of that back to you all for your information. Next slide, please. I'm not going to go through all the details here. I'm really trying to project as best we can at this early stage what our costs are going to be. I talked about the implementation of the weekend. We're fortunate that some of the big inflation of the last 2 years has come down. So things like the Keolis contracts, the host railroad contracts are not going to increase as much as they have the last 2 years. We've been working with our consultants on diesel fuel and insurance, things like that. I think Mr. Kelly and a number of the other operations board members have wanted to know, where are we in this process? Right now, the preliminary budget, nothing's been deferred, nothing's been eliminated. We have meetings with our department heads coming to really try to pare as many of those discretionary expenses down as we can. This is the pie chart showing where all that money goes. Those discretionary items are really in those two, yellow and gold slices at the bottom, all other departmental and staff expenses. A lot of the other stuff, you don't want to cut debt service, you don't want to cut insurance, all those things are really hard to cut. So we'll be focusing on those two pie slices right there. Next slide, please. This is just to give you a little sense of the challenge, honestly, that we've had in projecting ridership. If you look at that's actual ridership since the trough of the pandemic. Higher dot is what we have currently approved in the budget for this year. We're not going to make that unless there's a really big jump, which we would still hope for. But so we're, the trend is still towards growth, but a little bit towards a lower level. So that lower dot that's out on the far right, 8,500 is at least right now where we're looking at the average daily ridership in the 2025 budget. Jurisdictional contribution, the operations board chairman, Mr. Walkinshaw, has been on this one quite a bit. We are again hoping that we can get back to the pre-pandemic trend for jurisdictional contribution in total, a little over $18 million. Just to make the note that if we had been keeping up with inflation over that period, that number would be closer to $22 million. Next slide. Oh yeah, we are, as we've told you, I think before, we are now out of, or we will be out of at the end of this year, the merit program with DRPT. Instead, we will be getting that dedicated 3.5% of the Commonwealth Mass Transit Fund. That will have to cover both whatever we want to put into the operating budget and capital grant matching. Projected to get about 16 million there in the preliminary budget. That's split about equal between operations and capital, but we'll be updating that as we move forward. And last but not least, this is how we are right now projecting to utilize the pandemic relief money that we have. We've used up all the CARES money. That was the first tranche. That's the light blue. The rescue plan money is what we're using second. We've used up a little bit of that in the light blue, and then the blue is the year we're in currently. And then the orange is what we have to use out into the future. So how quickly that money will be spent depends on all these other decisions that we're making with respect to expenses and revenues. So, happy to answer any questions.
Yes. Can I make one comment just, and then I'm gonna review the question. So thank you. But I heard you say about 18 and under riding for free. I think that's a brilliant idea to bring in families, because with other conversations about families relationship, 18-year-olds not want to ride the train with the family, but to offer that for free for them I think is brilliant. Now I will say this, we can never lose sight of the Long Bridge, right? The fact that is funded, and once we get to that point where that is a VRE access back and forth, everything I think in the train system of what we're talking about with VRE is going to be so much better for the fact that we can go to and from with all sorts of travel being, weekend getaways and business. And I think that's a great opportunity, but we got to hold on to what we're doing now to get to that point, because we're not there yet for that to be done. So I love what we're doing now to try to assist with VRE relevancy more than just business of going to and from work. So thank you for that. And that was just a comment. I will.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm actually gonna be a little contrarian to his comments about the age. Why not 16? I mean, when I saw 18, he kind of hinted it a little bit. 18-year-olds don't typically, like I consider them, and that's just my opinion of being part of the children. For me, if you're 18, you're probably part of the workforce in some extent, or in college, whatever. But if we're making the services free, what led you guys to choosing 18 and not 16 as your cutoff point? I know, like, for example, being in New York, to get away with it and not have an age, New York just has a height limit, which we all know at 44 inches, you're not getting an 18-year-old at 44 inches. You can, but your chances are pretty slim. So sure. I'm just curious about that.
Sure. What we have right now is 10 and under riding for free, and 11 through 18 can ride for half price on a youth pass. And so, and we don't have a ton of those. When you get in closer to DC, you have some kids who ride our trains pretty regularly to get to one of the Catholic schools downtown. But we don't have a ton of youth travel. And I think our thought was simply to take that youth travel program and make that free. And so since that was 11 to 18, we just said, okay, we'll make it 18 and under.
Okay, so just based on the volume, it wouldn't be detrimental, okay?
Correct.
Okay.
We would expect to lose a very small amount of money
So it's
by those kids who are currently riding.
So it's negligible, okay,
Yeah,
that makes
yes,
sense.
ma'am.
And then the other question I had, was some constituents that reached out to me, and after the Beyonce concert and some of the other events, and one of the questions that like I've always been asked is, why don't we have train services for special events? Because I mean, if you're from Spotsylvania, Fredericksburg, or Stafford, you still go to DC or Maryland to attend these larger venues. And so having the convenience of having the train, get on the train and safely navigate, the cesspool that is traffic up in that area and parking and all that stuff. And so I'm curious, because if we're expanding weekend service, especially during football season, on Sundays, I mean, that takes traffic off the road as well as we can take some of these fans. So I'm just curious about, I know financially, there's probably some issues with that, but have you guys thought about?
Yeah, I think, Ms. Lawson, did you?
I'll save you, and one of us VRE commissioners could give Mark a break if you want, Mark.
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna refer back to what Mr. Angry said, that
Yeah,
in between now and when the Long Bridge opens,
right.
anything like that is subject to negotiation with the host railroads. And they that
Right.
is hard to do. When we get Long Bridge open, when all of a sudden our negotiation would be with VPRA, and we would have that division between the passenger rail and the freight rail, all of a sudden those kind of special event trains would be much, much easier
So
for us to make
if I
happen.
can, Mr. Chairman,
Please.
great question. We're working on it. We can't operate the trains on the tracks unless we get the approval from Norfolk or CSX. But really, it's key to the Long Bridge. But just so you know, we as an operations board are absolutely planning long-term for events such as concerts, sporting events. It's in the works.
Thank you.
The Long Bridge, sorry.
I'm about to go
It's
start.
called the third rail.
Yes, it's about, yes,
Bridge.
to not have to go through.
What's that?
It's the control of the rail line, not just the bridge.
Right, right.
Third rails, we will, EPRA will.
There's a lot of components to it.
Well, I just wanted to relay that. I told them I would ask at the next meeting and find out. I did my part, so.
Tell them we're working in that direction.
Do we
Train
have
is on the
any more questions, comments?
Mr. Chair, I'll authorize the referral of the preliminary FY 2025 Virginia Rail Express operating and capital budget to participating and contributing jurisdictions.
Second. I love this. We have a motion on the floor. Did you follow okay, I think I heard a tie in there, but that's Commissioner Bodie? Yes, okay. Any discussion? Please call for the vote.
Victor Angry.
Aye.
Kenny Bodie.
Aye.
Margaret Franklin. Dean Lawson.
Aye.
Tanisha Allen.
Aye.
Monica Gary. Pamela Sabeski.
Aye.
Jeanette Rishel.
Yes.
Matthew Kelly.
Yes.
Todd Horsley.
Yes.
Elizabeth Guzman.
Yes.
And George Parker.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, that motion is approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do the same.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm present too.
Yes.
It's okay.
And Ms. Bailey.
Thank you.
No, is that a yes or no?
Yes.
Sir, are we?
Thank you. And the rest of the information items, hopefully they're self-explanatory, but we'd be happy to answer questions if you have.
And do we have any questions per the rest of the information we have? No, we don't. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for your
Thank you.
time. All right. So moving on to public comment time. And so do we have any in-person public speakers? We don't? Any online? comments?
Mr. Chairman, no one submitted comments prior to the meeting.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That's just me. I don't have to read this comment now. Nobody's here. So we will move on.
So I'll move the consent agenda as submitted.
Second,
Love this, man. Okay.
One broad.
yeah, me too.
Exactly. We have a motion on the floor and we have a proper second. Any discussion? Please call for the vote.
Victor Angry.
Aye.
Andrea Bailey.
Aye.
Kenny Bodie.
Aye.
Margaret Franklin.
Aye.
Janine Lawson.
Aye.
Tanisha Allen.
Aye.
Monica Gary.
Aye.
Pamela Zabeski.
Aye.
Jeanette Ritchel.
Yes.
Matthew Kelly.
Yes.
Todd Horsley.
Yes.
Elizabeth Guzman.
Yes.
George Barker.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, that motion is approved.
Thank you, ma'am. Floor is yours, love.
September preliminary ridership shows that ridership is up 1% from August. Of course, Labor Day, long weekend, definitely dampened the beginning of the month, but since then ridership has continued to increase. If you compare end of August versus end of September, it's roughly a 4% growth for Express. Local weekday ridership for September was very similar to August, but that's up by more than 20% over 2022. So if you jump forward a year, we have 20% more ridership. Weekend riderships remain very strong with almost 2,000 passengers on September 16th. And the new Manassas Saturday ridership, which just started this past August, our first full month has it around 40% of weekday ridership, which is outstanding for a brand new Saturday only type service. So we're really, really excited to see that pattern, and that'll naturally increase as the time passes on. Service reliability continues to improve. Carl, would you go ahead and bring up the slides for maintenance operational update? So Tricia provided these. It's easier for me to do the presentation. As you can see here, for missed trips a year ago for the with 670 missed trips in the preceding 90 days. For this year, it's 45 or a net 92% reduction. On the second slide or next slide, vehicle availability is increasing, but the great number is at the end, which is much more readable in your packet, where what we have is more than a 100% increase in miles between road calls. And that's when a vehicle has a service need while it's in service itself, whether it's in revenue service or deadhead, we track all road calls regardless. So that is fantastic. It's well above target, and the focus is staying there and then improving. New express bus service, new express buses continue to arrive. We had a ribbon cutting about 6 weeks ago, with several ready to enter service the next few weeks. Of course, we have to do the last minute decaling, updating, but most importantly, all of our operators going through training. These are new vehicles, they have updated features, and we want to make sure we operate new vehicles safely and reliably. OmniRide hosted the 2023 local rodeo this past Saturday. Keolis has had 12 operators compete. First place was Eugene James, second place Mohammed El-Atrabi, third place Frank Cardona, and to be clear, Eugene and Mohammed have a battle royale every single year for first and second. It is every single year, and so the real drama will happen this spring when we host the state rodeo. So that'll be in April. We'll make sure it's on your calendar to come out and see the genuine drama that unfolds as we wait in bated breath to see who takes home the big trophy statewide. Couple of housekeeping, and it was a great event. Everyone was out there, a good time this past weekend. It was nice to see the turnout from not just the operators and their families, but the number of different employees that came out to support them. Housekeeping items, marketing has some handouts of some coloring pages used at the Hispanic Heritage Month Festival, September 16th in Manassas. Great turnout there. We have 4 tickets available for the Chamber's Salute to the Armed Forces on October 25th. Contact Christine to claim your ticket. It is at Heritage Hunt in the Cosmopolis of Gainesville from 11 to 2. So we hope to see you there. I'll be there because it's right around the corner from our Western facility and home. So we're excited to have 4 of you come join us. A reminder that we must have a quorum at the November meeting so we can approve the 2024 legislative agenda. The chair will have an item under his time to discuss the calendar. And there are 2 important events for December. December 1st will be the joint legislative forum with NVTC, VRE, OmniRide, WMATA usually almost always has a presence there. Attendees, normally we bring a vehicle here, you park here. What we're actually going to do is have you go to the Dale City commuter lot and park and ride an in-service revenue vehicle. Since the event is in Arlington, you will just be a commuting commissioner. So that will be the opportunity, and you'll be able to experience just exactly what our passengers do. So we'll have all those details tightened up for you by the November meeting. a handout that'll be very, very easy for you. December meeting will also be critical must-see TV, so to speak, because the December meeting will be a very short, compact business meeting. And then we're going to roll as quickly as possible into our budget and finance workshop. So that'll be an important item, but that'll start around 7:30. So again, quorum will be key to get through the business meeting portion of it. So then we can roll into the financial portion. So plan to stay here till about 9. Of course, we provide dinner, and then we'll also have some snacks and plenty of things to keep you awake. So those are the key items we have, Mr. Chair. Any questions? I'm happy to answer.
I feel like I should be honest, but the whole active bus ride of us getting on the bus, I feel like it's a perfect opportunity for our karaoke bus ride.
Oh, my goodness.
Our passengers will kill you.
Say that last.
So one of the things that we want to do is we're going to try to do commissioner karaoke, in which he does karaoke on board of
I feel like that, you know.
But that would not be the one. But you can bring your,
You and I would have to do CPR to a lot of people.
but you can bring your pillow, your coffee, your eye mask, like a good classic OmniRide commuter does.
That's a bad idea. No, man. Anyway, okay. Any questions? Comments? Okay, here. Okay. So we have one presentation, huh? There she is. We're gonna get a DEI update, diversity, equity, and inclusion update. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and thank you again for allowing me to come and update you on OmniVice diversity, equity, and inclusion working group. In May, we did continue our mental health warrior series. Bruce Shooter was back with his Embrace Your Emotions journal, strengthening your mental health resilience as you journey through the full spectrum of emotions. It was a helpful and useful outlet to understand how journaling can be useful in working with mental illness. In June, I was able to attend the Virginia Forum on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion that was given by the Virginia Chamber of Commerce. It was a wonderful opportunity to see how the DEI has become an important part of workplace culture statewide. I saw that employers are starting to see the benefit of a happier workforce. And I also learned that many employers are looking to bridge the unemployment gap by revisiting job qualifications and in some cases removing the need for a 4-year degree, looking for more experience. They are also talking about community college internship pipelines that will also lead to better employment. In August, I was able to speak with the Keola's Vice President of Inclusion and Engagement, Nicole Gladney, about Keola's DEI, and I have added their roadmap to your presentation, so you can have a chance to take a look at it, to see what opportunities that they will be implementing over the next few years. Some of the initiatives that they currently have are the monthly DEI Lunch and Learns. They have minority and women employee resource groups. They have mentorship programs with senior leaders of their organization. And they also have engagement and inclusion committees. Some of the pending things that they will be having is customizing their DEI strategies based on location. So happy when she said that. Increasing retention rates and pulse surveys to see how things are going. As for us, we have been working on our strategic plan, and we did have a very productive meeting in September to discuss the SWOT analysis. So for those of you who don't know, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, in which we looked at internal and external factors, identifying these threats as we work to update the plan using the knowledge that we've gained over the past 5 years. Some of the examples of our strengths are that 35% of our employee workforce is a member of our diversity, equity, and inclusion group. So it is a wonderful thing to have that. We are constantly informing new staff members. I know y'all know my mouth. I'm the first one to walk up. Hi, we have a DEI. Thank you for coming. We've actually had 2 new members join of the new staff that have been here. We continue our training and mentorship programs. To bring up weaknesses, we did have a more in-depth discussion on the 5 core values that we are currently promoting. And we have started posting those not only on our SharePoint site, but you'll see them on our boards throughout the transit center. We're working on training and looking at the clarifications for training, what qualifies for a DEI training, what qualifies for a regular training. We do have a 37.5-hour training requirement for our merit increases. So we do work very diligently to make sure that everyone is getting developmental training. In addition to that, we are also working with staff changes and loss of industry knowledge. Many of us have been here for many, many years. I feel like the baby being here for 6 years. So to lose a lot of people who will either be transitioning to retirement or other jobs, we want to make sure that we continue that flow of knowledge. Lastly, with our migration to SharePoint, we have added a DEI page to our SharePoint. And I would like to thank Lyric, Carl, and Chris for all of their hard work on the migration. The DEI SharePoint will now offer you, we have our mission statement, we'll be offering informative and also educational items that our staff members can read. And with that, I will ask if anyone has any questions and to thank you again for the opportunities.
Okay, I'm in this moment phase this week. And so Janae, I heard you say, I feel like the baby in the room. And so I'm just gonna go there because I'm the old guy, 55, and I hate that people don't notice. But nobody puts baby in the corner. What I mean by that is this, look, you've been here for 6 years. Now, I was supposed to go to dance, I was, but
My
what I
legs
mean
are
by
not
that.
gonna make it across that room, I'm sure.
What I mean is this, you've been here for 6 years, and so we've seen a lot of turmoil and transition in PRTC, and let me tell you something, you leading this DEI effort for Army-wide PRTC has been incredible. And I'm gonna give Bob some credit here in creating that opportunity based on a lot of things that have happened here. So what you're doing now is so critical, and everything you're talking about is the people. And so the people have a voice, and it's through you. And so I appreciate, and we appreciate all of your briefings and presentations and efforts and what we're doing here. This is significant, and so I want to put you on the spot of saying thank you. Okay, for presenting this every time we have the opportunity to hear and get an update, because this is where we get the opportunity to ask you questions or give you guidance or comments that you can take back for the program that you created. So I say that. I don't have any questions or anything for you to take back other than to say continue doing what you're doing. And so it's never gonna be a solid ride. There's always gonna be ups and downs. And when you face those, then please, you've got your leadership here, you've got your leadership here, and hope that we can guide you and PRTC to better outcomes or outcomes that we all are satisfied with. So I'll stop there and ask, yes.
I wanted to say ditto, because you are on point. I remember when you started this and you said, Ms. Bailey, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, you said that, but I want you to know that you're on point. You're on point and you bring a certain amount of energy to this process, which people really need to buy into. And so, and you make it seem seamless because you've owned your leadership position in it. And so I just wanted to say that to you, to say that we depend on you. And so thank you.
And I thank you all, because without the support of the executive staff and the board, none of this would have been possible. So thank you all so much.
She was just saying earlier that she's had the time of her life. I've been sitting on that for like a minute.
Like that's tired.
Did everybody get that? I just want to make sure they all got it. Is anybody here too young that didn't get that?
No, even I got it.
Okay.
No, but sincerely, Janae is doing great work, and we're so proud of it.
You guys are making me proud.
Lord. None of that. We're not going there.
Yeah.
It's just, I thank you, because again, this is a passion of mine.
Yeah.
And it is a wonderful thing to work with such amazing
Shows.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Any questions? Sorry.
There you go. You're good. No action. Oh, we have 0 action items. Isn't that something? So we're now into chairman's time. So I need 3 to 5 volunteers for the legislative committee. You're gonna be there. And I have to share that. Which means I need maybe 4.
This is for next year.
This is for this year's.
For the November.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sorry.
So to help draft, we're gonna help draft PRTC's legislative agenda for actions item at the November meeting. So I will need,
Let's wait, see how people feel after that.
I will need 4 of you right now to raise your hand. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. So we got Commissioner Bodie, we've got Commissioner Barker, we've got Commissioner Franklin.
I'll do it, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we got Commissioner Sebastian. Status. Oh, Sebastian, we'll ask.
Someone else would rather do it. I'm happy to step aside.
Okay, okay, so
Did you
we'll.
get that?
We can have six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Can I confirm who the six were?
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Bodie,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, can I pause for a second? Hey, Trish, I'm sorry. Can you, cause you brought him in, can you recognize our new, and we didn't give her an opportunity, I'm sorry.
Are injured.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Introduce our new Director of Transportation, Russell Carter. He comes from, are you PG or Charles now? PG. Prince George's County. He's been in the transit industry probably about 15 years. And he started with us 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
So he is my right hand.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to leave you out. You were here. Okay. All right.
He does not like this. He hates it.
No, he doesn't. We should
He
actually
is so
speak.
comfortable right
You got
now.
like 30 minutes to speak now.
Hey, thank you all guys for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Well, hey, welcome aboard, okay? It's great to meet you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize for that.
no, it's fine. I just wanted to confirm who had volunteered for the legislative committee.
Yes. Oh, so,
So I wrote down Bodie, Barker, Franklin, Angry, Sebeski. But then I heard Miss Sebeski say if someone else wanted to do it, she was happy to step aside.
Rachel volunteered, which caused the best to say, I'm good.
so she'll take backup if she doesn't want to do it, or if she doesn't want to do it, then.
I mean, that's up to Pam. If she wants to do it, that's fine with me.
I think 6 of us are great and all of us should do it.
Okay.
All good.
I couldn't.
6 of us are great. We also do it, so you're in now.
Oh, okay.
You're in. Okay, so I have a box here that I must read. So are we good with the names there?
Yes.
Okay, legislative committee will meet virtually in October. Once a date is set, Christine Rodrigo will send out the meeting notice. So in October, we will meet sometime this month, basically because we're in October. We'll send that information out. You have the names down, the emails, and so expect that email from her probably tomorrow or at some point really soon. And also, we need a quorum for the November meeting, which is an important meeting. We have to take action on the proposed legislative agenda for MBTC's annual legislative forum on 1 December. Okay, so we gotta have a quorum for that.
What day?
The reason that is of consequence is that is Thursday, November 2nd, the Thursday prior to the election. So the question is, if there's going to be lots of door knocking, attendance may be a challenge. So an option is to possibly move the meeting to the Thursday after the election.
So that is, okay, so that would be November 9th. So would you all, and would it be a straw poll, show of hands if you want to move that meeting to November 9th or?
I have to.
Mr. Chair,
I'll be out of town, but others can.
I'm sorry, who is that?
I was just gonna say that I'm happy to make a motion to change it if that's what we would like. I will be at my son's wedding and will not be at the meeting on November the 2nd, but I do have Manassas covered because my wonderful councilman, Mr. Smith, will represent us. But if that helps anything, I'm happy to do whatever works for the commission.
Well, which means that we either get to see Ralph's lovely face or you're on the 2nd or yours on the 9th is what you're saying. But I think more importantly is, I think I'm hearing from the group that you all would like November 9th. Yeah. But
Yes.
Let me ask this.
Yes.
How many alternates do we have?
Well, Prince William County has 4 alternates right now.
For active?
4 total.
Okay, so either way, we can always tap into them.
Exactly, that's why they're on the list.
Because I'll be honest with you, I don't want to commit to either day because I also value sleep after the election.
I work on the ninth is
Okay.
harder for me to do tonight.
So understand.
Mr. Chairman, if you can get a vote on that, that would be good.
Okay, it's because I honestly, we do have alternates for a reason. Yes,
I was gonna say, I will be out of town, so I know I will not be there.
okay,
Either day.
Before, I don't have a strong opinion, but the 9th I will not be here.
okay, so let's just take it to a vote. The meeting's on November 2nd currently, and so I guess it's a straw poll, if you will. I don't know, is it a vote or straw poll?
Well, so
How many are in favor?
seconded her motion. So I'll second her motion to move it.
For the 9th?
The 9th?
That was for the 9th. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for moving the meeting to November 9th by Commissioner Sebesky, seconded by Commissioner Bodie. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, call for the,
Victor Angry,
I don't know where I am on that. Abstain from this, because I'm good either
One
way.
thing of discussion,
Yes.
so, but it sounds like some people can't or not willing to commit to the 9th. So why don't the motion just be for the 2nd?
I would have not even.
If this dies, it will
Have a
be.
discussion on it, but we went straight to the 9th, which is why I want to abstain. So, but I don't know if we, so now that we have this motion, because you did made it and you seconded it. Now we're in discussion, so we don't have to vote on it yet, but your discussion is very well on the fact of. Yes.
Can I add to that?
Mm-hmm.
So Veterans Day is on Saturday, the 11th, correct? Do you know, is the government closed honoring Veterans Day on that Friday or the Monday?
Oh, the government's closed, it's 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
We're always a 4-day weekend on it. Veterans
It's
Day.
Friday.
It's Friday and Monday. so
Friday
it's
and
4-day
Monday.
weekend.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
It just falls on Monday to count to
4-day
Friday.
weekend.
Well, how cool is that?
Always cool.
Because my point is, you know, if it's the 9th, then you might want that night off for a long weekend. I don't know. I frankly, I'll go with whatever the commission decides.
I'm happy to vote, I'm happy, Mr. Chair, to vote against my own motion if the majority wants to stay on the second.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, for me, you know, and Pam can testify, when we make our schedules in the hospital, it's really hard for us to move it. And so when I make my schedule, I do it based on the days I know we have already agreed to in our agenda.
Yeah.
So the second I have scheduled off, but following week I have to work.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I wanna just, clear up too, so Veterans Day is the 11th is actually Saturday, but the Monday is the observed holiday, which does constitute for federal, it's gonna be a 4-day weekend, no doubt, Friday, Saturdays, oh, it's always.
It's always been that way.
It's always been that way, we love our 4-day weekend, and we'll never take that, but I think what happened here is that we moved so quickly to Sebesky's motion on the 9th that we probably should have entertained. I don't know if we can get a friendly amendment that she would want to move it to having a vote.
Mr. Chair, I believe if we all vote against this motion, that
Yes.
it defaults to the scheduled meeting. Mrs. Kanzak can confirm that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Ms. Sebesky is correct, but she could simply withdraw the motion and the second could withdraw.
I'm happy to withdraw, Mr. Chair.
you good? Okay.
But it's still.
Yeah, so we've withdrawn that motion. Now let's get to, and I'm gonna go ahead, Franklin first and then, okay.
Kind of forgot what it was, but I think I was gonna say that, yeah, I forgot what it was.
You want to make a motion to go back to second?
Yeah, but that's not what my comment was.
Right.
I just forgot what it was. It was about the second and why. I think I was gonna say we should just keep it on the second. And to Janine's point, if we have alternates, just ask them to come. if we
Right,
can.
which is that's a real point. And
I was just gonna say.
As long as everyone's happy with the alternates making decisions on the legislative agenda that has to get voted on, which is why we need a quorum to begin with.
And that's the only issue. Because if my alternate shows up, you wouldn't know the first thing that's going on.
Neither was
right,
ours.
okay,
Well, then we should brief them
okay.
before the meeting.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
For a second.
And if I could, can I have, Commissioner Russo had a, Vice Chair, excuse me,
I'm sorry.
you had a comment.
No, I was just gonna say my preference would be to leave it on the second because I have NVTA meeting on the 9th. But like everyone else, I have an alternate.
And you could brief your alternate for, whatever that is. So, I believe right now, we really are in a, position on keeping this on its originally scheduled date and really working with our alternates to make sure we brief them on whatever our legislative agenda items are and preferences are. So, I don't know if that calls for a motion since it's already on the second.
Motion.
It's all there? Okay, so let me just ask this with the commission here that we have, are you all okay with that? And now, just ask that, I wanna make sure it's not,
I won't be here, but sure.
okay, but you have an alternate, correct?
We'll,
Okay.
March forward.
yeah.
Yes, and we all have an alternate, so.
Christine,
Okay.
will you be sure to tap into our alternates early?
Yeah, let's do that, I think that's the key. Let's tap into the bottom line that we need to get these
Tell Vegas
alternates.
she
early.
gotta.
Yeah, no, she escaped.
Yeah, Bob is Bob.
It's Bob.
Yeah, remember, I
Wanted to make her.
Okay, so in the interest of, we got like 3 minutes, so 8 o'clock, we're on commissioner's time.
That's
We'll start getting, going right around. Come on, let's start. Yes, sir, floor is yours. Al?
No, you have a pass.
We just spent like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we did. Okay,
Pass.
I'm good.
Pass.
very good.
All right.
Everybody good?
No, you on the mic. That was a fun.
Oh, that's right, sorry. Say, Commissioner Guzman, any, commissioner time comments?
He's having a good conversation with us. That's all right.
Commissioner Guzman? Commissioner Sebastian, any comments? Any,
No comment, Mr. Chair.
you good? Okay. Okay, I think that actually, completes this meeting.
Yeah.
Motion, can I get a motion? to adjourn?
Second.
Second, yeah.
We got 2
We
seconds.
have-
and a motion.
Second.
Okay,
No,
so I got a second by
The third and
Commissioner
the
Garrett.
fourth.
She jumped in waiting for a motion.
I did.
Got it. Okay, all in favor?
I.
Okay, hey, hit that. We're adjourned. I need you to pass on how you get this agenda. Somebody that would do it just turns into, I have to do it. You can't talk, and I